Mr. Clark, I'm approaching the shuttle hangar. You must find your way to the cargo bay. The marker, it's being stored in there. There's a cargo loading lift there you can use to deliver the marker up to the hangar. Please, you must help me with this. It's the only way.
Already in this level, things are very different. Normally, Kendra gives us the objective for a level at the beginning of a chapter, but this time around, we are given the objective for this level by Dr. Klein. Kind of different and really interesting. More on that later. Let's deliver that marker onto the ship first, shall we? Here we are inside of the Ishimura cargo hull, and we just found the red marker. We're going to have to move the red marker onto the other elevator or the conveyor belt at the very end. But, as you can see, it's a very large room. A whole bunch of necromorphs are about to spawn in once you move it. Which, you know, that's kind of the nature of Dead Space. But not only will I have to fight necromorphs, but I will also be fighting tentacles. But unlike the tentacles of the previous levels, these ones will not be trying to drag you down. Instead, they'll be trying to squash you. Yes. And they will spawn once I start to cross that little way. They will spawn right next to my right. But I don't go on there because that's when they will spawn. So instead, I'd like to pick off the necromorphs as they come towards me. And right on cue, here's the tentacles. But at the same time, necromorph might tend to spawn behind me in some of the events that I wanted to point out. So yeah. There should be the second one coming about. Now, there it is. Yes. There's another tentacle on either side of this little like pathway, but I tend not to destroy those because they're easily avoidable. Speaking of which, there's the necromorph that comes kind of towards me at the very end. So this is a nice place to run around, and, you know, because there's so many air vents in this room, they just tend to spawn like crazy, and as you can see, they kind of do swarm on me, but luckily I get my distance away from them. I hide in this little corner because I know that the tentacle won't be able to squash me, and I can pick them off really easily. But there's also pregnant spawn. I don't think any leaper spawn. I don't remember, but yes. So this tentacle I do not destroy, and there's another one across the room as well that I don't destroy because it's not really worth destroying. Just the two in the middle. And before I end this little area, I also like to point out that the marker itself, if you get near it, actually chants ominously. Ooh, pretty spooky. Now, all the way back at the beginning of the game, I told you guys that there was a door that you were not able to enter because it was locked. Well, if you re-enter this area, it is open. But before that, I like to collect this right here. And normally, a lot of people tend to forget that that area can actually be accessible the second time you go through this area. A lot of people tend to forget that, including one of my friends who completely forgot about that, and I told him about this, and he was really thankful for me reminding him. So it's a nice little backtracking moment, as it were. Now that we have the marker in place, all we have to do is move it onto the shuttle itself. But, just like in the nature of Dead Space, nothing's really simple. But before that happens, we just completely removed all the gravity in the hangar, so now we can kind of move freely about, and it's a huge area that you can get to explore, and there's a lot of like items that you can get to collect. As a matter of fact, the area where our ship got destroyed at the beginning of the game, you can actually go back there and there's some items that you can pick up, which is a nice bonus for those people who like to explore, just like me. So also, you might notice there's red barrels all over the place, and you can use them. I do tend to use them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but most of the time I do like to use them in order to pick off some of the lurkers that will be appearing momentarily. But before we can move the marker, we gotta align the track, because if we don't, then it's not gonna move anywhere. And the lurkers should be coming out now. Yep, there they are. So before we get to move the marker, let's destroy these bad boys. Just throwing a barrel should kill them automatically. And the fact that they're so spread apart, you know, they're pretty easy to pick off. And the fact that there's so many barrels at the same time, you know, it's not much of a challenge really. The reason why I didn't want to use that barrel there is because the other barrel was kind of in the way and I don't want to blow that up. So now that we have killed all those lurkers, let's move the actual marker itself. And just like the lurkers, I think advanced leapers who are going to appear as well once we move the marker close to the shuttle itself. A bit annoying that you have to put the marker there, but yeah, I guess it's just to extend kind of the playtime here. So that's pretty much it for the rest of this this objective that you gotta do. But before I end the video, yes, this is kind of shorter than most, mainly because big things are about to happen in the next clip or so. Yes, there's a reason why I titled this video Betrayed. Yes, as big revelations are about to happen, and interesting developments, as I should say. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this level, because the rest of the clips are pretty much self-explanatory. Rather let those speak for themselves. This is it for the Ishimura. We are no longer going to be in the Ishimura, and for the next level, we are going to be on the planet itself. The only time, actually, really. So yes, that is pretty much it, and I'll be seeing you guys on the surface.
It's on board. Please come and join me. Together we can stop this hive mind. We can end this nightmare at last.
Over here! Hurry! There's no time to waste. We must do it. Wait. Amelia. Where are you going?
Sorry, Isaac. I couldn't let him go through with it. I suppose I should thank you for finding the marker. We even managed without help from the USM Valor. Thank you for helping me find him, by the way. My department's been looking for this place for a long time. See what Kyne didn't know was? It was the government's mess to begin with. This whole planet is one big experiment. The marker? This divine relic? Made by man. They reverse engineered it a couple of hundred years ago from the real marker, a true alien artifact recovered on Earth. They dug it up, studied it, and they made it their own. Then they brought it to Aegis 7 and activated it. And you've seen the result. The stuff of nightmares. They sealed the system, and no one would have been the wiser. But then the CEC blunders in and starts tearing the planet apart. The experiment was still alive. Kyne was right about the hive mind. The marker would contain it, but that doesn't matter now, does it? I have the marker, and this entire system can go to hell. For what it's worth, you did a great job, Isaac. See you around. Or maybe not.
Isaac, Nicole, I need you to help me. Help us. Now. I'm in the flight control room. Please, Isaac, hurry. Please. I love you. Isaac? Is that really you? I never thought we'd be together again. God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for what I did. I never wanted to hurt you. You need to get it back now, Isaac. You can pilot the shuttle remotely from here. Make us whole again. Make us whole again.
Isaac, what the hell are you doing? You're making a big mistake. This is not over.
Escape pod away, crew shuttle USG-09. Repeat. Shuttle has ejected escape pod.
It doesn't matter. She can't escape her fate. None of us can. Here it comes. I'll reprogram the shuttle so we can fly down to the colony. God, we're so close, Isaac. Now go! Get on the shuttle. I'll meet you there. You're doing the right thing, Isaac. We're together now. The way it always should have been. I knew you'd come back for me. Nothing can stop us now.